Boom, we are live at Sebs Show. Everybody, welcome to the Sebs Show. It's
What
your
up,
boy,
guy?
Sebs with co-host Gib, and today we're previewing UFC. I believe this is Fight Night 121 in Sydney, headlined by Fabrice Werdum and Marcin Tybura. Before it was sorry. Before it was Mark Hunt versus Marcin Tybura. That would have been a good fight, Gib.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they pulled Mark Hunt. I don't know if you saw, but they pulled him. He in an interview he was talking about him slurring his words, and he might be suffering from.
I can hear you now. I think it came back.
What? I don't know why it always says that. That's fucked.
Do you want to start it over?
No, it's good. It's good. Who
All
cares? I was just saying, like, the first fight is Adam Wieczorek versus Anthony Hamilton.
Okay.
And in that fight, I think I'm always looking to fade Anthony Hamilton, man. I think he's out of his prime. The guy retired and just came back to fight rather quickly. He actually retired in his last fight when he got knocked out by Daniel Spitz, for fuck's sakes, and retired. And then I think there's a quick 20 grand for him. Said, I'm gonna come back. Decided to come back. He's fighting this Polish. This guy is by no means. I think he's nothing special by any means, but I think he's enough to put away Anthony Hamilton. He's got a nasty submission game. Adam Sui, we'll call him, but Sui's he's got some pretty decent stand up as well. He can knock out anybody that's fucking 205 pounds and light heavyweight and heavyweight, man, even maybe a middleweight. He
It's
might be able to.
division,
Yeah, but you might.
the weight that he hangs around in, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying anyone in those three weight classes can knock out Anthony Hamilton. The guy's got a glass chin to a glass chin. He weighs 265 pounds, and he's literally got he's been way too many gym wars, man, for sure. And I think it's his time. I think he should have retired before against Spitz, and I think Wieczorek is gonna finally retire him here. So I took the shot on. I can't even say his name. We'll call him Sui, or whatever. Wieczorek. I think I said it pretty good there. Wieczorek.
That's the best you can do, I guess.
Yeah, 1.54 units on Wieczorek at minus 152 to win 1.01 units. So I'm pretty confident in that one, man. How about you, Gib?
Well, he's doing really good so far. He's really been killing it. His only loss, one of his losses against Tybura, who's fighting on the main card, which is crazy. He shows he can hang with a lot of heavyweights, and he only really gives up the loss to maybe one top guy.
Yeah, the guy who's headlining the fucking card.
Right. Yeah, and he's only 9 fights in his career. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Now, maybe Anthony Hamilton, 9 fights into his career, could put up a great fight because, I mean, that guy was knocking people out left and right, leaving bodies. But, obviously the layoff is a long time, and I don't know. It's a rough spot. I mean, maybe in a scramble, Anthony Hamilton can kind of get messy and land a big shot, but I don't see it happening. So I got Adam on this one, man.
Yeah, for sure. I don't see him pulling this off whatsoever.
Yeah.
Maybe in the clinch he'll try and rough him up, but I think that they'll play the Adams game. He'll eventually take him down, and I think once this guy has you on the floor, his ground and pound's pretty deadly. I saw in one of his fights, he's pretty dangerous on the floor, man, from a top and bottom. But let's jump to the next fight here. We got Eric Shelton versus Janelle Lausa. This is a fight I'm actually fucking really, really interested in. I interviewed Eric Shelton a while back, and man, I like where his head's at, where his confidence is at. I interviewed him before the Jared Brooks fight, his last fight, and he trains under Pete Spratt, so he's at a good gym. The kid's he's got talent, man, especially at this weight class where there's not much. Well, now they're coming up with way more talent, but there's not much talent at the weight class. And I think he's a rising star. I think I understand he's 0-2 in the UFC, but I think this is going to be his time to shine, man. Janelle
What do you think about the Demolition Man?
Yeah, the Demolition Man. He's not as dangerous as people are making him out to see it. In his first fight, he fought what's that guy's name? Zakawi or something. Yao Zakawi. Yep. Yeah, yep. Fucking. That guy is a jobber and a half. He's like 2-5. That guy, and I don't even know how he got that fight, but Janelle pieced him up 100%. As Eric would have as well. I think so. Against Magomed, we saw like what really could happen. Magomed's a top flyweight in my eyes, even after that loss to John Moraga. But I think like this guy's just a top flyweight. So like it's fair enough to say with Janelle Lausa. But then you look at this stuff, man. A 2-5 jobber was able to get this guy down multiple times. I don't know like how that's going to go against a top grappler against Eric Shelton, who's like has a highlight reel of submissions, man. From literally, he goes from armbar to triangle to omoplata. He has like the nastiest sequences too, and he's just dangerous. He's dangerous all around, especially standing up too, man. His counters are really fast. He's a fast counter striker. He's very technical inside the pocket. Moves his head off the center line very well. I love him in this spot. I just think he's a better all-around fighter. There's levels to this game. I'm going to say that multiple times in this podcast today. There's level to this game, and I think Eric Shelton's on another level than Janelle Lausa. I think he's going to show that he's a better striker inside the pocket, and when he wants to take him down, we saw Janelle Lausa struggle with his gas tank. And when he was taken down, so that might be a road to go. So I'm riding with Eric Shelton. I got 4 units on him with somebody later in the card.
Okay, I can't even bet on this fight. I have it pretty even, man. I looked through their fights. Showtime coming. He's a decision guy, so he's one of those. He can go long fights. He can go through it all. And really push out a decision. And I mean, if he lands that big shot, I'm sure he's ready to go for it. You don't just sit on cruise control for so long like that. And he does really well on that. But man, Eric Shelton, the demo man, that guy crushed some people with some kicks.
Even Janelle Lausa.
Yeah. He gets a lot of really good crush kicks. I think that might be a good factor. He's got some decent movement, some pretty good.
Looks like Gibbs' computer froze, guys. You good, Gib?
Yeah. Froze for a sec. My bad.
All right, no problem. Yeah, go ahead.
I could just see it's a pretty down the middle fight. I mean, I think they both have their chances. I can actually see it going to a decision. not really sure who wins it. Looks pretty close.
Yeah.
Those have their fair share of submissions as well.
I know a lot of people are gonna hate on me for taking that shot at Eric Shelton. He was at because he was like a minus. I took him at like minus 360 something. I got like a pretty good price on him compared to the other bookies that were sending him at like minus 400, 405 or whatever. And fucking man, I like him a lot in this spot. I just think he's one of the best up and coming fighters, and he has a lot to prove. He arguably won both those fights against Pantoja and Jared Brooks. Man, he like it's arguable that he won both those fights. Not sure like what else to say. There's two of you. What the fuck, Ib? Oh no, now there's only one of you. Yeah, I was like, what the fuck's happening there? But yeah, man, I like him a lot here. I like his counter striking inside the pocket. I think the way he dropped Jared Brooks, who's a fucking animal. I just like him a lot in the spot, man. I think he's the faster striker, he's the better striker, and he's a way better grappler. So I'm gonna ride with my boy Eric Showtime Shelton on this one, 40 units. All right, so next up we got Alex Chambers versus Nadia Kassem. And this fight I didn't do much tape on, but there wasn't a whole bunch of tape on Nadia. From the tape I saw, holy shit, my dog's going nuts, man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, from the tape, I think that's to take the dog right now. He's telling me to take the dog. But fucking might be an Alex Chambers bet, but yeah, to be honest here, from what I've seen from Nadia Kassem, she's dangerous on the feet. She throws like those spinny back fists. She's unorthodox. She's I don't know, man. She's a good striker. She's a good striker all above, but she's fighting regional competition. Which is like to what point? Like the girls she's fought, like were 0-4, 0-2, 0-0. Not much competition at all. You know,
questionable, win building going on.
Yeah, 100%. And Alex Chambers has lost to girls like like in the toughest, like Rose Namajunas.
Yeah.
She's lost to Paige Van Zandt,
most recently, right?
Yeah, Aisling Daly, who's like was just like a step above her. She's just a veteran. Like there's levels to this game, man. She actually finished. I think she finished Jodie Escobar, who's like I consider her a jobber as well, man. But fuck, and then she finished Kaylin Curran. And she had like one more loss on the record that was like to like someone. Let me see who. Oh, Mizuki Inoue, who is top Invicta strawweight right now. Top Invicta strawweight. I think she's fighting on the December 9th card for Invicta right now. And yeah, man. I don't know. This is a tough match for me to pick. I think I'm gonna pass on this one. I'm gonna take Nadia though.
Yeah, I got Nadia as well. She's performing really well. I mean, she's getting big fights, and she's very young. 21 years old now. I think that's really good, especially for Australia to have something like that. I mean, yeah, you're going in against someone who's a little more seasoned and has a few more fights. So maybe we haven't seen her under pressure, and I guess we're going to find out if she can handle that. But, I mean, it could be another, fly-by-night kind of fight where Alex Chambers gets a little hard-pressed during a fight, and Nadia comes out with a big kick and just knocks her out. I mean, I'm definitely predicting that here. I'm actually predicting a head kick knockout for Nadia Kassem. Thought I'd go for that one. But I don't think Paige is a bad loss, like you were saying. You're fighting some of the top people, so there's no question about it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, what do you think she does after this if either of them win? I mean, it's better for Nadia winning, really.
Yeah, obviously, if Nadia wins, like, it's starting to see if Chambers is going to get cut or not.
Yeah.
She's riding on that salty record, and they only keep girls like Caitlin Curran if you're super gorgeous around, if you have a bad record. But to be honest, man, yeah. But if Nadia loses, obviously they're gonna keep her. She's 4-1. She's
absolutely.
21. She's got a lot of like finishes and shit. They'll keep her for sure. But I don't know, man. I think this is just a tough fight to bet on. I don't like betting on debut girl fighters, especially. Like debut fighters is cool. If I see a pretty big advantage, and but like debut women's fighters that's a whole nother story, man. They're still fighting in like another time. So
do you think that the women's cards outside the UFC, outside Invicta, can't bring in top competition that the other companies like Bellator, other companies like that can bring in?
Yeah, but Bellator has like some pretty good competition with like McFarlane and whatever. They have good fighters over there with Kiri Melendez, and I don't even know if she's still fighting. I'm not keeping up with women's Bellator, but I don't know, man. Invicta obviously has some really good women's fighting, but like I don't think the talents. I think the talent's like not endless how it is on for the men's. Like the men's is like endless talent we can get. Like women's, it's like a little bit hard to come by. Like really talented like women all the time. There's a few of them obviously, but they're still like they're not fully progressed in today's MMA. So
yeah,
but yeah, man, I'm going with Nadia Kassem too. I'm going with a decision though. I don't think she's gonna finish her.
I'm going for the head kick knockout, man.
All right, so next up we got Damian Beatdown Brown versus Frank the Crank Camacho, and this is gonna be a good old fashioned knocking. This is gonna be a fucking barn burner. This is my my prediction for fight of the night. I think Frank the Crank is fucking. He hits really hard, and he's pretty technical with his punches and whatnot. He's good inside the pocket. I like how he hits that cross really well, and he shoulder rolls really well as well. Feels he's good standing up, and he's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champion. So this guy's no slouch on the ground, obviously as well. If it hits the mat. We saw him gas a little bit, but that could have been on just because of the 2-week short notice, and like he was fighting at 170 pounds. He's fighting at 155 now. I believe this contest is at 155 at least. But and then you got Damian Beatdown Brown, who just got knocked the fuck out by Vince Pichel, which I called on my show. And
nice. He's not having a good run. You're right.
And then the fight against John Tuck. Ars Miranda or whatever the fuck his name is, where he dropped him. That was all right, but man, I think Frank the Crank actually gets to him and gets to him early here and drops Damian Brown. I got 2 units on Frank the Crank on and let's see what we got him at. 2 units at -123 to win 1.62 units. So how about you?
Well, Frank is actually a similar story. His UFC run his MMA run actually is kind of filled with some blemishes, but I mean, he's a 2010 Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champion, so I mean that's huge under his belt. He used to get lots of submissions early. If you look at his early career fights, he even got to. I watched a little thing on him. He got to fight his uncle on his first few fights coming up. From his gym. That was like an awesome time. He's kind of been in and out of the game, but now being in the UFC, losing one fight. I think he's had one UFC so far, and obviously, this is his second going into it, and he wants to get back to the winning streak. He does say that it's rough to go down to that 155 mark, but obviously he's shown a lot of skill in what he can do, and I think he'll perform at this division. Damian Brown, like you said, he's having some problems. It's good for both fighters, actually. I think this is a pretty fair matchup. I see Crank beating him, but Damian Brown has some power in those hands, and he's been known to really death touch every now and then,
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
Bring that one hard shot out.
Another fight that sticks out to me though for this is like back in the day, this guy fought Keita Nakamura, and he actually nearly finished Keita. Or he didn't finish him. I think they went to decision. Yeah, they went to the decision. But he looked good against Keita Nakamura, man. Oh, is Gib frozen again? Looks like he's frozen. All right. Well, he said what he wanted about that fight. So we'll go to our next fight. Sorry, guys. Obviously, some technical difficulty here. Hopefully, Gib comes back. But we'll jump to Brooks. Sorry, guys, for the technical difficulties, man. But we'll jump to Brooks and Nick Lentz, and I'm thinking this is a coming out party for Brooks, man. He hasn't looked the greatest in.
Oh, sorry about that.
No problem, man.
All right, so where are we starting?
Brooks and Nick Lentz.
Okay, I really like this fight.
Yeah, I think this is a coming out party, like I was saying, for Will Brooks. This one does not simply just beat Michael Chandler twice. Michael Chandler's a top. He would come into the lightweight division right now and be top 5, 100%. Well, maybe not top 5 in the top 10, 100%.
That's if any lightweight would actually take him and take that fight.
Yeah, Michael Chandler would be Michael Chandler's a tough fight for anyone, and Will Brooks beat him twice.
No fluke.
He hasn't looked great, obviously, as of late. His first fight against Ross Pearson, he looked a little hesitant. He got the win there. Then against Alex Oliveira was off weight and came in a little heavy, knocked him out. Actually, broke one of Will Brooks's ribs in the fight and knocked him out afterwards. And then Charles Oliveira submitting Will Brooks. And then you got Nick Lentz, who hasn't really looked all that great since he fought Charles Oliveira as well. He fought Danny Castillo, who was like that was his retirement fight, and they went to fucking split decision. And then he fought Michael McBride, who's an absolute jobber, and whatever he looked good against McBride, but that's McBride. And then he fought Islam Makhachev, who fucking 30-25 them or something, like 30-26 them, and absolutely just murked them and showed them what a good grappler would do. I think this is a great fight for Will Brooks. I think he's on the right path. I think Nick Lentz has a lot of health issues, man, with like making weight and stuff. As last time these guys were supposed to fight, it got canceled because Nick Lentz got sick. I don't know if it was weight related or not, but I don't know. I wouldn't trust Nick Lentz, so I'm going with Will Brooks here. I got him in a 5-unit parlay with somebody later in the card. I'm huge on Will Brooks here. How about you, man?
Yeah, I mean, since that Chandler fight, I was a big fan. You showed me that fight. So awesome. Really competitive, and it shows that you can compete with really, really high level competition. He is a decision guy, so you know that he can get to the 3-round mark. So it's a good pace for him. And I mean, if Nick Lentz maybe puts him into some bad spots or even threatens him, I mean, he does come from American Top Team, so
they both do. They both do. That's a weird one.
I'm wondering why they're how their camp's going then.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's a weird one.
That's the case.
I'm trying to actually check that out right now on the fly. Something I should have checked out before, but I want to because I saw Will Brooks' camp is at American Top Team. I didn't go check Nick Lentz's camp, so I'm pretty sure he's at American Top Team as well. Though he's only taking pictures of his kid.
Well, apparently it says he's at the Minnesota Martial Arts Academy as well. So I mean, he could be training there.
I think that's where he used to train. I think he, unless he went back there, but I'm pretty sure he's at
to another gym.
I think
to a different fighter.
No, it says even his bio Coconut Creek. So I think he's still there. Actually, I think he's still at American Top Team, which is that could be another reason Will Brooks took this fight. Maybe he's seen something in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. He seems to catch people in subs. Seems to get that quite good. Lots of attempts on the Makakor fight. I've seen that. He has really sneaky legs and guard, and he makes people work just to pass. So I mean, it could be a little deadly when it gets to the ground.
I'm just reading right now what was his medical issue, because one Bloody Elbow reported it was a weight cut issue, but I'm not sure if it was. Yeah, it was. So I'm very happy. I have 5 units on Will Brooks. This guy can't even make 155. He drained his body so bad to go to 145 that he can't make 155 anymore. And he said in the past it's hard for him to make 155. So I'm 100% going with Will Brooks here. Yeah, very, very confident that made me right now. I have 5 units on Will Brooks, like I said, with somebody later in the card, man.
Yep. Yeah, Will Brooks too.
All right, so let's jump. I'm just pausing Ultimate Fighter here because it just came on. Let me just pause this quick. Yeah. Okay. So next fight is, I think, Ryan Benoit and Askin. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Babyface Benoit and Askin Mokhtarian. So Ryan Benoit, if you want to talk about punching power, this kid has some punching power. He knocked out Sergio Pettis, arguably down a round or was down the whole round against Sergio Pettis, and ends up knocking out Sergio Pettis there. And and Sergio Pettis was actually looking really good in that fight, but just the left hand connects and boom, goes to sleep. Um, Looked good against Brandon Moreno too. I thought going to split decision with a Brandon Moreno is nothing to hang your hand about. Man, this guy, even if you watch him on the regional scene, Benoit's just like he hits so fucking hard. He'll put people to sleep, man. And he comes from Saxon's Muay Thai. This guy's legit technical striker, and he's going against trash can fucking Mokhtarian,
Yeah.
who looked horrible in his debut. Literally, literally his name is Ass Can Mokhtarian, man. He's fucking horrible. Looked so bad against John Moraga, I thought. Was shooting takedowns when he should definitely have been striking. And then when you see him strike, it's so rudimentary. Still is striking very like unorthodox. He throws very naked leg kicks. All the time he's throwing these naked leg kicks, like they're not gonna get caught or something. He got very lucky that they weren't getting caught against Moraga. Um, I think if he does that here, he gets eaten up and he gets countered hard with the right hand. When he grapples, he looks exhausted. I don't think this is going to be a grappling match. I think this is going to be a stand-up war. Benoit's got a chin on him, and I think he puts Askin to sleep, man. So I put 3 units on Benoit at minus 193 to win 1.55 units. How about you? What do you think?
Ryan Benoit, he's quite a good watch for
on Fight Pass.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I think after that run that he's coming off of, the Sergio Pettis win, he definitely has power in the hands. And he clips guys if they're not ready to exchange with him. And he's always first on the take. He's got really fast hands. His loss over Ben 10 win was
Ben 10's top quality though.
It was top, yeah, but that showed a guy who's very similar to Anthony Pettis very similar to Pettis in the fact that he throws lots of fancy kicks and really pinpoints you. Only Ben Nguyen was able to do it from farther back, and while keeping balance.
Yeah.
Mark Nguyen is another super tough submit fighter after the Marja fight. If you've seen that, I mean, we got guillotine show a lot of problems in that fight. He was in one, and he just had to fight it off, and he's really having some problems with it. He did go to a decision that I believe he ended up losing
against Moreno.
Yeah,
he lost split decision.
I'm pretty sure he lost split decision. But I mean, if you want to watch a really good good submission fight, that's a pretty good one, because you see him constantly escape from moves and pulling off lots of different stuff. So
just his willingness to like get out of all these submissions and everything too was completely there, man. Like you said, the way Moreno had a couple of times a really tight guillotine on him, and he just like cranked his head a little bit to the left and got out of it. It was actually good to watch, and the way he would gut them out. I don't think he gets caught in one against Askin here. I think Askin's is going to get cut after this fight. I think Benoit sleeps him, and then he gets cut, man.
I like his leg kicks, and I think Benoit starts off really early. He gets usually gets really excited. If he falls into that leg kick game, I think that he might just be meat for the dogs, So
I fucking hate that guy's leg kicks. He throws naked leg kicks, not even setting them up. He's horrible, man. I think this is a total fade on Askin, man, 100%. But why did you take him on DraftKings? Don't tell me you took him on DraftKings.
I didn't bet on this fight at all.
All right. So you gotta did you take anyone beforehand on DraftKings?
Actually, I took Muhammad, Theodorou, Tuivasa, Werdum, and Frank Camacho. So.
All right, so you took Camacho. Okay.
Oh, and Will Brooks. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. So Next fight we have is Rashad Coulter versus Tuivasa. It's a fight I'm very interested in because it's Tuivasa's debut. I actually was trying to get an interview with Tuivasa and fucking I guess he didn't have the time. But his name's Bam Bam for a reason. This guy throws heavy bombs and he pressures forward like a monster. He's huge for heavyweight. This guy is a huge boy, man. Chases you down, fucking throws left and rights, and spams these super hard uppercuts against the fence on you. Very fast hand speed for a guy his size. He's actually pretty agile for a guy his size. Only thing that worries me is his cardio, but it's not like Rashad Coulter's cardio is any better. I think Tuivasa absolutely fucking drops him in the first round. We saw, and pretty much like that elbow he gave that guy, what's his name, Brandon Cicerelli or whatever his name was, Cicerelli, that he dropped him with a dangerous elbow tied to Vasa to win the title. But I think he does the same thing here, like Chase Sherman did to Rashad Coulter, a dangerous elbow, and drops Rashad Coulter. Man, we saw Rashad Coulter get dropped. Tuivasa has never been dropped, so I'm gonna have to bet on Tuivasa. I put 2.97 units on Tuivasa at minus 170 to win 1.75 units, and I'm fucking confident in that. How about you?
It's for
Tuivasa. No, Tuivasa and Rashad Coulter.
Oh, sorry.
Days and off there. Yeah.
Yeah.
You dazing off there.
Hold on.
So, fucking, what do you think about Coulter and Tuivasa then, buddy?
Coulter and Tuivasa. Oh, sorry. It's back in my book here.
Let's get it together here.
Shit, man.
It's all good. Oh, and if he lands leg kicks, that big boy lands leg kicks.
Oh, so sorry, I do know this fight. This one, anyone can beat anybody here. They're both coming off of pretty much all knockouts. They're both pretty wild. I mean, Rashad's a little older. 30? 33 around, and then Ty's young, probably like what?
Yeah, Rashad's 35, Ty's like 24.
Okay. I mean, if you want to go for Ty on that aspect, I mean, hey, maybe he might do it. But I mean, he's coming in pretty heavy at 264. I mean, you can come in maybe a little bit smaller and
I want him that heavy.
Yeah, you do want him that heavy, but I mean, man, you got to carry that weight with you all 3 rounds, and heavyweights. Fuck, I mean, unless
that guy's not carrying nothing for 3 rounds, he's knocking this motherfucker out in the first.
I don't know. I think this is a toss up. Anyone can pretty much go with one shot. It's a game of battleship. It's a game of battleship. I got Rashad Coulter though. Why not?
You got Rashad Coulter?
I guess just for the for like the just barely split pick, you know.
All right.
It's close. It's close though.
All right, so I got Tuivasa in that one, guys. Next up, we got Volkanovski versus Shane Young. Not much to say here. The tape on Shane Young was, this guy looks good, man. He looks good. He looks like a crisp striker. Can't take that away from him. He looks, and he's got some submission skills as well. He looks pretty dangerous. But against a guy like Alexander the Great Volkanovski, you got to be on top of your game. This guy's no slouch. Shane Young's lost before to Damian Brown, a guy who Volkanovski, even at 145, I think at 155 you would slump him still 100%. Volkanovski's just a monster, man. Great hands, trains out of Tiger Muay Thai. He's just all around, just a great fighter, and the pressure he puts on you is just outstanding. Um, Always with the takedown pressure and pressing you against the cage and just working you hard. I think he breaks Shane Young here in in the second round, man, and he finishes him. He gets his first finish in the UFC.
Yeah, I agree. I think Alex wants that belt, and and Shane's in the way. I mean,
Yeah.
Shane's got a pretty good head on his shoulders, and I think he has a good gas tank. He can make fights messy when he wants to. I mean, they're both in and around the same area, New Zealand and Australia, so they're both gonna swing, right?
Yeah.
It's just the way they train there. I mean, I'm sure both of them are very seasoned in sparring, but I mean, I got to give it to Alexander Volkanovski. The kickboxing, just a very high level resume for someone going into this fight. So yeah, I mean, it's a pretty quick pick, but I mean, I wouldn't count Shane Young out completely, but it's definitely more than enough for me to take the over picks.
Yeah, and that too, I have parlayed for my 4-unit Shelton Volkanovski parlay minus 207 to win 1.93 units. Super confident in that one, guys. So yeah, moving on. We got Elias, the Spartan Theodorou, taking on Daniel Oldman Kelly and fucking Daniel Brett Favre Kelly.
Daniel Kelly's got to go now.
Yeah, fucking Daniel Brett Favre. And Theodorou, man, it's just like he brings a different kind of pace to the fight, and he looks good when he's doing it. He's fucking doesn't lose his cardio or whatnot, is what I'm saying. The fucking top quality fighter. A lot of guys give shit on his fighting style and whatnot, but I think he might be boring to watch, but this guy gets you wins, man. He's a winner.
Yeah.
And he grinds out a lot of decisions, which is something that I like in a fighter that can just grind out decision wins for you. So I know he has the cardio to go all those rounds. I think he lights up Daniel Kelly here on the feet whenever he wants. He brings a crazy pace that Daniel Kelly's not going to be able to cope with for 3 rounds, and he takes this quite handedly. I got Theodorou 3 units, minus 235 to win 1.27 units. So I'm pretty confident on Theodorou here.
Yeah, I'm pretty much going the same ways. I think Theodorou gets amazing wins, like you said. He taxes people out. He has a good gas tank, so he knows that he can beat people down the stretch if they think they have just a little bit more energy than him, and he'll very easily put you in your place. He's great working guys up off against the fence. It's his world pretty much at that point. He gets a lot of quick little jabs and punches in there. A lot of good clinch work. I've seen him come in and out of submissions too, so he can recover really nice off of scrambles as well. Dan Kelly, I don't know how this guy is still in the rankings, but he is, and I mean 13-2. That's pretty good for a guy who's 40,
on one fucking leg at 40 years old.
He's on one leg. So props to that. Kind of backpedaling here. I was talking shit about Orlovsky, and sure enough, he wins that night. So I gotta apologize for that. Absolutely, he completely took me by surprise on that.
I'm not fucking apologizing for shit.
I can't.
He's a total fade again. If it happens again,
I don't know.
He's a total fade. Junior Albini just sucks.
I say if you're old in the sport and you think you could keep going, fuck it. Why not? Just let the chips fall, keep rolling the dice, and see what you can do. I mean, obviously you want to leave.
He's gonna get knocked out in the next.
Obviously, we want to try to leave, get your checks, and enjoy life. But obviously, Daniel Kelly has something to prove here.
Coming off a knockout loss.
He is coming off a knockout loss
to Derek Brunson. This guy got crunched. I don't know. Yeah, sort of cut you off, but I don't
No
know how
worries.
long these people fucking think like this Magic's gonna stay on Daniel Kelly's side, man. He always comes up with these underdog wins and like,
What do you think about the magic of Chris Camozzi?
oh, Chris Camozzi, he's fucking horrible. That's why he got cut. That guy's fucking horrible. But
Well,
and
Chris
then
Kelly's almost having
the only decent win Daniel Kelly has, and it's a comeback win, was against Antonio Carlos Jr. And I think that was a good win. But other than that, he got starched, man. He hasn't fought any good competition. He got starched against Derek Brunson. So
yeah. Well,
I don't
Derek
know.
Brunson is in a whole nother animal, man.
Yeah, but Theodorou is just gonna bring that pace that that a 40-year-old's not gonna be able to keep up with. I don't give a fuck who you are. You're at 40 years old. You're not gonna be able to keep up with Theodorou.
Yeah, I like I said, still taking Elias on this one. I think Daniel Kelly does sneak in a few good judo throws, especially when he's on the fence in that Chris Camozzi fight. But I'm sure he was on his way out for a reason, and still got to go for my Canadian boy. So hey, why not?
100%. All right. So next up, we got Jake Matthews versus Bojan Velickovic, Serbian Steel. So, Gib, I'll let you take this one first. Actually, man,
This is a cool fight. I've seen a few of Jake Matthews scrambles on the floor, and man, he's a great jiu-jitsu guy. Gets lots of good submissions. I think Bojan Steel could have him on the stand-up though. The fight against Holbrook that Jake Matthews had lots of escapes. If you like watching that, a really deep heel hook escape that I had it was a cringe compilation for me watching that.
Yeah.
I felt my ankle on that, and I wasn't even there.
There's a deep toe hold he had him in.
Yeah. I think Bojan's very selective about his punches. He's very clean, very calm, and he can be fast and really explosive all of a sudden. He's got a good guard. He's not easy to pass either. So the jiu-jitsu does kind of the grappling act, I should say, kind of cancels each other out. Bojan does, I think, have it in the striking, but I mean, Jake Matthews, I think could pull a win out here, even with all that, because quite a fan, and I see a lot of cool stuff, and I think this might be a good jiu-jitsu match, to be honest with you.
Yeah, man. Jake Matthews moving up from lightweight to 170. He's never a big lightweight. A lot of people say he's a big lightweight. He's not a big lightweight. It was just a thick kid, man. Fucking big shoulders and whatnot. But great grappler. If he gets it to the mat, he could finish it real quick. He's never won a decision, I believe, except in his regional fights. But in the UFC, hasn't won a decision. So I think he's only been to one decision as well too. But coming off that loss to Andrew Holbrook too, man, that's a tough loss because Andrew Holbrook is garbage, and fucking Jake Matthews, like, that was just a tough loss, man. I thought he was gonna dominate that fight. I had him. I laid the chalk down and everything in that fight. I had him all day in that fight. And then he got trampled before that versus Kevin Lee. Against Johnny Case, he looked all right. He ultimately choked him out after that. And then he got knocked out by James Vick. Man, and then Serbian Steel, you go to his record, it's not even that impressive in the UFC. This guy's like, you take away his draw against Michael Graves, and then he's 1-4 in the UFC with that like last that knockout of Nico Muskoke, and then he's lost to Darren Till, Sultan, Alicia DiCirico or whatever, and fucking he's got knocked out by Tim Williams actually too on the Ultimate Fighter. So yeah. I'm going with Jake Matthews here. I think re-energized 170 Jake Matthews gets the job done, but I'm passing it from a betting perspective.
I think it's a good pass, and it can happen here, especially if one guy's a little bit better in stand-up. it's hard to take. Obviously, Jake Matthews has problems with people standing. Kevin Lee, but I mean, Kevin Lee is no hard opponent to avoid punches from. It's going to be a hard press. You're going to constantly be fending off waves of punches and swarms and takedown defenses. So I don't know. It could be close here.
Yeah, and so who do you have?
Still Jake Matthews, but again,
Jake Matthews, yeah, but it could be close, exactly. All right, so the next fight, I don't think will be close. It's Tim Means versus Bilal Muhammad, and I'm gonna tell you straight off the bat, I got Dirty Bird all day, man.
Really?
Yeah, Dirty Bird all day. His striking is so crisp in the pocket. His elbows, his knees, his clinch work, his fucking jab, his cross. He looks really, really good when he's striking. He's a step above a lot of other guys. Bilal Muhammad, he's no slouch, but he's inactive at times and doesn't have the best striking defense. He's a good grappler if this goes to the grappling, but I don't see it go to the I'm not. It could definitely be a grappling contest if Bilal tries to make it, but I think they'll gas out Bilal early. I think Tim has a good takedown defense, and I think he stops the takedowns of Bilal, and he just works him up and gets a second round TKO here on Bilal Muhammad, man. I got 3 units on Tim Means at minus 217 to win 1.38 units. So I'm pretty big on this guy. How about you?
Well, originally going into this, I was kind of siding with Means, watching stuff. I'm still a big fan of him, but I don't know. I really like Bilal Muhammad. He got a beatdown over Randy Brown, who recently knocked out Mickey Gall in that last UFC. Lands some clean jabs, and that can put him into a good rhythm, and he starts to really be bothersome to opponents. I think he's pretty well balanced in a little bit of everything. Obviously, Tim Means a way more decorated record. And just an overall better resume. But I mean, Bilal Muhammad could turn some lights on some people. Obviously, he'd have to win quite a few people over after his fights. But I don't know. We'll have to see. I think he can make it exciting though. And I mean, Tim Means, if you want to see an exciting fight, this would be it.
Yeah, 100%. So who do you have in this one? Means
I got Bilal Muhammad.
Yeah, Bilal, eh?
Yeah.
Bilal Muhammad. You're going with the dogs.
Yep.
All right. So, fucking. Yeah, I know. Next up, we got the co-main event. We got Beck Rawlings versus Jessica Rose Clark, and I have no idea how this is a co-main event. Did I just freeze?
No.
Oh, I thought I froze. Okay, so but I have no idea how this.
Just because you called this co-main event here.
Yeah, no kidding. Fucking, it's horrible, man. How's this our co-main event? Beck Rawlings versus Jessica Rose Clark. Jessica Rose Clark making her debut from Invicta from Titan FC, where she fought Karina Dam with decision. I'm pretty sure. Oh, it didn't look that good. Hides behind this. She has an alright jab or whatever. She's pretty good striker from that point. Like with her hands, like she's all right, man. She's nothing to like run home about for sure. She would get lit up by 90% of the division, 100%. Well, they're fighting at 125, so it's not even 100% of the division. Then she got lit up by right now. But Beck Rawlings would get lit up too, man. She's it's not like she's not a jobber as well. So Beck Rawlings coming off that loss to Tisha Torres, and then before that knockout TKO from Paige Van Zandt. Then she faced CO Sam there. I don't know, man. I don't see a really path to victory for either girl here. This was a hard fight for me to call.
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with the new girl, man, Jessica Rose Clark. Yeah, let's go with the new girl, the upset here. I'm gonna go with Jessica Rose Clark, but I'm passing from a betting perspective. How about you?
Yeah. Jessica Rose Clark, I kind of had to go into. She works pretty well off the cage, and really goes for really banks a lot of opportunities, and she gets a lot from it. She knows what she's doing. I mean, Beck Rawlings has been on there since the tough season. When I first watched that season, Beck Rawlings was probably my pick for the win. Now, obviously, that was a terrible pick. But, I mean, I don't know. There's something about Beck Rawlings I like. She's pretty scrappy. I think she got a submission over Lisa Ellis. I mean, hey, you might not think that's going to happen, but it's happened before. So, I mean, if she has the opportunity, she could definitely open that up. Obviously, you don't want too many decision losses or wins because it just shows maybe a little too much of yourself. And a lot easier to expose you, because you've got that running time as opposed to, you end the night early, you leave with whatever you displayed, right?
Yeah.
So I'm still taking Beck Rawlings on this. I mean, she's the last rowdy one left in the UFC, so hopefully she takes it. But I mean, Jessica Rose Clark, she's just as dangerous. But I mean, it's her first fight in the UFC, so she could get the jitters, right? And I think Beck Rawlings needs that win back.
Yeah, I think she needs the win pretty desperately, and she can get it here. I'm just going with the underdog here.
Yeah.
Just to be a contrarian. So our headliner, our main event of the evening, we got Fabricio Werdum versus Marcin Tybura. Originally scheduled Marquant, but scratch that because CTE. So it's for my boy Fabricio Werdum here, and man, what can I say? I think Fabricio Werdum lights him up on the feet and on the mat. I think on the feet it's not even close. I think a lot of people are like saying, "Oh, like Marcin has the chance on the feet." I think not. I think Fabricio Werdum is the better striker, better decorated striker. This guy throws a running side kick at the beginning of his fight, and Marcin gasses right after the first round, especially after any grappling exchange. If Fabricio Werdum chooses, which he will, to put this into a grappling exchange, he's going to submit Marcin Tybura. Marcin gasses very, very quickly, and I think Fabricio is going to be able to catch him in a choke or an armbar or just something pretty dangerous. So I got Fabricio all day here. Not much of a breakdown. I think he just slaughters him. I think he really beats the fuck out of Marcin Tybura here and finishes him within the third round. Third round sub will go. I think we'll go third round sub. I think he'll make it to third round. But like at that third round, Marcin's gonna be so gassed. There's no way he's gonna be able to fight 2 more rounds after that. Mm-hmm. So I'm going with Fabricio Werdum all day here. I got him in the parlay with Will Brooks 5 units at minus 154 and minus 155. Lines change super quick. I think I changed the lines. Your boy's a baller. You already know what it is. But I think I seriously, with the line change, it changed super quick as soon as I made the first bet. And then I have to make the second one on 2 separate slots, right? So as soon as I made the second one, it was changed to 154 or to 155, whatever it was. And so it's to win 3.24 units now, 5 units for Doom and Brooks, 154, 155 to win 3.24 units. I'm super that's like my most confident by far. Obviously, I put 5 units on it, but I don't see Fabricio Werdum losing this fight.
Yeah, I mean, especially after his last win. I mean, they obviously had to take a last-minute opponent. I kind of wish he got to Tybura last minute. That would have been a little more interesting.
Yeah,
I think this one is gonna go. It's gonna go the distance. And I mean, hey, anything could happen in that time.
I don't think it's going the distance, but hey,
I got Werdum in this. I actually got Werdum in this. I'm not picking an underdog.
Okay. Okay.
Because I mean, hey, you can't argue with a flying jump kick to start off round 1 against against Brown. I mean, come on, that who does that? The guy taps out. The guy taps out people who have a lot of opportunities. Like Fade. I mean, this is really calling it old, but I mean, Fedor when
he tapped out Fedor.
He tapped him after
finish big nog
guard. Finish off big.
Cain Velasquez. Like, this is one of the best heavyweights of all time facing Marcin Tybura.
He's 40 years old and he's still top ranker. I mean, he wants that belt back.
Yeah, that's what he's aiming for.
Belt. I mean, I'm so glad he's done with doing that face. I think maybe that he
does it sometimes.
He does. I think that Werdum face might have. I don't know.
He gets him like a little, like, I know what you're saying. It makes him look like he's a little cocky, and then like throws people off or whatever.
I think when it first started, he thought it was fun, but eventually it got a little outplayed, and I felt like it was just a bit of a spectacle, and he was playing this character that people kind of made up on him. I don't know. The whole. I mean, I don't know. It was a fad for a while. I'm glad he doesn't do it anymore. He looks like a calm guy going into every fight. He's not smiling on the way to the ring anymore, like that. So it's good. Good for the fighter mind, and I think he's got a good head on his shoulders now, and he's got this Tybura fight wrapped up.
So
we'll see what happens. I'm saying decision through.
I'm saying it's 5 rounds.
Yeah, after the 5. Sorry. Yeah, I still think it goes the distance.
All 5 rounds.
If not, maybe a stoppage in the 4, but I think it does go all 5 because even in the Brown fight, he felt a little held back, and you can tell the finish might have been there, but Werdum never really stepped on the gas long enough, because if you're wrong in a heavyweight match in the later rounds, you're really fucked, because now all of a sudden you can't get up anymore. You're getting rolled, and scrambles you can't even get up for. I don't know. I think it's still Werdum's fight to win, obviously, but I think if it doesn't go 5 rounds, then maybe something happens in the 4th.
I think something's gonna happen in the 3rd. So
okay.
Well, I'm going with Werdum all day. Like I said, I got 5 units on him, and let's go. So that's about it for UFC Sydney, guys. Let's fucking cash these bets. Unless you're against me, fuck you. Let's cash these motherfucking bets. So right. Seriously, guys, let's get it. Till next time, till UFC Shanghai, we're going to be breaking down Michael Bisping stepping in as a late replacement against Kelvin Gastelum. We'll be here same bad time, usually, probably not the same time, but the same bad channel. So we'll be here, guys, next week breaking down UFC Shanghai, Kelvin Gastelum, not Marcin Tybura. I'm fucking all repped already. Michael Bisping and Kelvin Gastelum, which is a great one. And I think me and Gib actually got a couple of interviews next week that we're going to put out. Hopefully we get them out, yeah. So the last one didn't go as planned. We got Sean O'Malley, which was a great interview, Gib.
Oh, yeah.
And
we got a really, like you were saying, a really organic interview. It was very off the cuff.
And yeah, man, it was just great interview, and fucking the audio just got distorted and couldn't be salvaged, man. So unfortunately, hopefully we got Sean O'Malley after his big fight against Theodourou's UFC debut. But go check out our most recent one with Yancy Medeiros ahead of UFC 218 when he's taking on Alex Oliveira. And follow us on Twitter at It's the Sebash. And what's yours, Gib?
Dave and then _ Gibbs, GIBBZ.
Okay, I thought it was something like that.
Regular,
yeah. Okay, it's in the description. I think I put Dave Gibbs, but it's like Dave _ Gibbs.
_GIBB and then Z.
Yeah. All right. Cool, guys. Till next time.
All right. Have a good one.
Have a good one, guys.